General, have you seen the China spy balloon in person?
I have seen the spy balloon in person, Courtney.
What was it like?
It's probably a lot larger than folks think. Probably weighs a little bit more. It's quite interesting.
It's been just over 10 months since the Chinese high-altitude balloon flew over the U.S. You said in testimony that you generated critical lessons learned from the incident. What did you learn from that?
It exposed significant gaps, long-range gaps, for us to be able to see potential threats to the homeland. I think that opened the eyes of a lot of people in the need to move forward on domain awareness, the need for collaboration between fellow combatant commands with the intelligence community and across the department ultimately. It exposed gaps in the sharing of information in near real time. Ideally, we'd be able to collaborate with a single pane of glass across all stakeholders, myself, my fellow combatant commanders, and allies and partners, the intel community, to share that domain awareness that gives us a picture to share and collaborate in real time. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to work on going forward.
So, again, 10.5 months later, do you have a better ability to share between these various commands and agencies?
Not where we need to be. I think one of our biggest risks right now is our inability to change at the pace the strategic environment requires. I think we need to go faster.
Why is it that time is so critical?
Time is decision space. Time is the opportunity to create deterrence options, or if required, defeat options. The only thing I can never give the President and the Secretary of Defense enough of is time and decision space. The only way you gain more time and decision space is you take data and information and you process it faster and disseminate it. That requires us to go to artificial intelligence and machine learning sooner than we are moving right now.
So when we take something like the China balloon incident, what would it have taken to get more time? And what could more time in that incident have bought you?
From a domain awareness perspective is to have radars that can see further. Over-the-horizon radars, for example, can see thousands of miles, that can give me the picture over the horizon. Today's radars are limited by the over-the-horizon signature. You can't see beyond that.
Do you think in some ways the balloon actually made your case for needing more coverage?
Absolutely. I think the balloon opened the eyes of folks who assumed that two large oceans on each side and friendly nations north and south gave us a sanctuary that we could hide in. The fact of the matter is we can't do that, and I think it opened some eyes.
The balloon caused you quite a bit of heartburn for a week or so. What was it like to be face-to-face with it?
Well, I wouldn't say it was heartburn. It was certainly challenging to work through authorities, options. It was something that we had not seen before over the homeland. And there's not a lot of capabilities to go after something that's slow moving at 65,000 feet. And so we had to work our way through what that would look like. What I would point out to you is we didn't know how effective we'd be if we were going to shoot it down. And more importantly, what we didn't know is what the debris field would actually look like. And initially when we were working with NASA, it was about a 60 nautical mile by 60 nautical mile debris field where we thought the debris would fall out. And we're talking several thousand pounds, school bus size objects potentially fall into the ground. We were able to work that down to 20 miles by 20 miles, and eventually by the time it approached the East Coast, about 6 nautical miles by 6 nautical miles. There's a reason we shot that thing down exactly 6 miles off the coast, and that was to minimize collateral damage and keep our citizens safe. And it was also to make sure that it fell within our sovereign territory and waters so that we could collect the debris and analyze that debris.
So as far as the actual shoot down of the balloon, was there any lessons learned from it? Or it sounds like you're saying the execution of it was pretty flawless.
No, there's huge lessons learned about interagency coordination, significant authorities. This is something we hadn't experienced over our homeland ever, quite frankly. So there's many lessons learned about collaborating with law enforcement, about collaborating across and making decisions. So I'm proud of my team. I think they did exceptional there.
Nightly Films is sponsored by Pfizer.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.